Just hanging.
Thanks. Yeah. Right, so start commentating right now. Okay. Let's go. That's something else. Okay.
So welcome to Belconnen Close Women's NPL Football live on Bar TV Sports. I'm Russ Gibbs, your commentator this afternoon for Canberra Olympic versus Belconnen United. Joining me in the commentary box, and it really is a commentary box today, high up off the ground, is Elle Weston, the under-17s coach at Belconnen United. And Elle, we're looking forward to a top-of-the-table clash between two fantastic teams.
Yeah, good afternoon, Russ. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me. I think it's going to be a great game, a great hit-out today with a lot of rivalry on the pitch.
We watched Canberra Olympic last week and they looked fairly impressive in their 5-0 win over Tuggeranong United down at Canberra there. But they're coming up against the Belconnen team today that swept all before them in the past few seasons. Yeah,
we're looking quite strong at the start of the season. We've got quite a young squad this year, and there's been quite a bit of movement within the positions on the field. But I think today will give them a real challenge.
If there's one thing we are expecting today, it's goals. Canberra Olympic have 10 in their 2 games to date so far, and Belconnen United have 12 in their 3 matches as well. So both sides know where their net is, and there's lots of attacking talent on display. Yeah,
that's right. I think it'll be interesting. I think it'll be quite a tight match today, with Nat Lacey in goal. She's a great shot stopper, and hopefully can continue that today.
Before we look at the two teams, just going to talk about the results that have happened so far this weekend. Women's NPL, there was a match yesterday at Hawker. Canberra United Academy beat Monero Panthers 7-1. Monero Panthers went ahead inside the first minute there with a goal from Zoe Serame, but that basically just poked the bear, and a hat-trick from Laura Hughes, one from Carly Rosbach, and Isabella Barach and Aoife Colville with 2 there gave the Academy a convincing win. Probably what we expected.
Yeah, definitely. Canberra United always turn up on the day. They're a very solid squad. They're quite young, but their football is fantastic, and they play really good rotational football on the park. Monero are quite strong this year, but I think definitely a challenge against the Canberra United Academy team.
Supposed to be 2 other matches in women's NPL today. One of them, Gungahlin United against Tuggeranong United, has been postponed. The pitch at Gungahlin enclosed has been deemed unplayable there, so that game is off. We'll try and keep you up to date with the other one over at Deakin Stadium, Canberra FC versus Woden Western. And in the men's National Premier League today at the Riverside Stadium, Monero Panthers play Canberra FC their first match of the season. But we're focusing on women's football today, looking at the ladder. Belconnen, as we said, 3 games, 9 points, plus 10 goal difference. Canberra Olympic second with 6 points. They were second heading before yesterday with 6 points plus 7 goal difference. The Academy, of course, will 3 from 3 above them now. But we mentioned it, there's plenty of quality in both teams. Looking at Canberra Olympic side, their midfield 4 today, if they do go with a 4 like they did last week, Grace Field, Grace Marr, Sally Rojan and Alexia Fauna, they could be key. Yeah,
definitely. It's a solid midfield. Looking to see probably one of them dropping in to create that back 4, but it'll be interesting to see if it's just a rotational or a fixed position there. It's definitely going to be tough for Michaela, Nicole and Katie to progress through those midfield players.
A couple of seasons ago, if you picked this game here as to watch Belconnen versus Canberra Olympic, there'd only be one outcome, really, wouldn't there? Olympic was struggling back then for players, but this season they've recruited really well, and they look the real deal.
Yeah, definitely. In the past, they've struggled to produce numbers across the board from under-17s to the Premier League, but this year they're looking amazingly strong with numbers across the board, and we saw that through 17s all the way through to Premier League today.
Yeah, they were on the wrong end of the results in those 2 games, but they did play some good football. In the 17s, your team, you got up 12-0 today, which is a pretty impressive result. With the reserves we just saw was a 7-0 Belconnen win as the teams come out. From your personal point of view, from your team, how are they travelling, and is there any players in there particularly that you think we'll be seeing at this grade very soon?
Yeah, definitely. We played really well today. I was very impressed with our composure. We tried to stick to 1-2 touch football and move the ball as quick as possible. So I was impressed that the girls managed to continue that throughout the 90 minutes of the game. And yeah, there's definitely a few highlighted players that are already making an appearance in reserve grade in the first 4 rounds for us, such as Chloe Rudd, Maria Pachi, and some others to name a few. And then, there's always that potential as with injury prevention and things like that they'll, could see a first grade game this year, which is very exciting for them.
Belconnen's always been renowned for winning a lot of trophies and being a decent club to play for, and that pathway is definitely there for those young girls at this club, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I've being a former player of Belconnen, I've been with the club for about 9 years, and I think we pride ourselves on player movement and progression, and that starts from the under-13s, not just looking at the Premier League structure itself. So bringing those girls up from the 13s to the 15s, then to the 17s and into the Premier League is a real sort of gesture that we look at and we take very seriously. So hopefully we can continue that and progress some of these players up into the Premier League in the future.
Well, you're looking at the match officials today. Carlina Mullet is our referee, assisted by Peter Knight and Carla Martin. Let's take a look at the two teams, starting with Canberra Olympic. Elena Haradimos in goal. We expect they'll play with a back three. Selena Vecchi, Rebecca Keating and Victoria Jemison in there. Sally Roja may drop into that if they do go for a four. We'll find out very soon. That midfield four we mentioned, Grace Field, Grace Marr, Sally Roja and Alexia Fauna. The front three, Grace Bassasilk, Vanessa Ryan and Lily Dawson. Lots of pace, lots of attacking intent in that team.
Yeah, definitely. I think they're going to be very midfield strong and hopefully quite composed. So Belconnen will have a very tough battle trying to break that line.
Belconnen side, Nat Lacey in goal, right back Lauren Keir, left back Bronte Pike, Karen Clark and Jessie Rashart in the central defence. Midfield three, diamond formation probably, Michaela Day and Katie Woodman with Nicole Jalosha at the pointy end. Up front, Maddie Whittle, Gemma Murphy and Jasmine Maguire. We're expecting the midfield to be a battle today. We're expecting Michaela Day to stand up strong. Yeah,
definitely. I think she'll have to hold there in the holding six position and looking to set sort of Bronte and Jessie in the wings.
Well, Olympic got off to a flyer against Tuggeranong last week. They scored inside 60 seconds with Emma Gow scoring. She's not out there today, but the replacement Vanessa Ryan, she had some weekend last week, scored 4 goals in the reserves and then came off the bench to nab one in first grade as well. So that's a good replacement for them for Olympic. And it is Canberra Olympic in the dark blue shorts, getting us underway with Ryan Tamar. And the early stages of this match will be very important, and it does look like they've gone with 3 at the back initially, so we'll see how that progresses. Fauna was budged off the ball there, and here's Lauren Keir. Flicked on. Keir picks up the loose ball. Looks to send that one down towards Gemma Murphy. So as far as Keir again. Belconnen started sharply with the ball at feet, but they turn it over, and here's the first opportunity for Olympic of the afternoon. Marr forward towards Dawson. It's picked up by Whittle. Now Keir. Day. Looking for the forward run, but Gracefield's in the way. And she finds Marr. And Rojan takes over. Keating. We noticed last week, El, that Olympic did like to play this kind of possession football, try and create the openings, and they've got the players to do that.
Yeah, that's right. I think it really creates space in the midfield and pulls defenders off their line.
Here's Fauna to Field, and Fauna again. Day has it. She'll go back defensively to Rashart and comes forward. There's Keir. Clark. It's Belconnen's turn with Woodman turning it around the corner. Nice little triangles in front of us here in the commentary position. Here's Whittle going backwards to go forwards. Jemison slices that one as far as field. It's important these early stages that both sides try and get on the ball, and they're trying to do that. But it's a bit scrappy at the moment. Don't know what someone's done to the weather down here, but last week it was lovely, and today it's a bit cold and overcast.
Yeah, I think last week we were worried about getting sunburnt, and it's definitely a change coming up to Anzac Day.
With Field taking over from Dawson and trying to release the winger, but tracking back is Maguire. Early stages of the match. live on Bar TV Sports. No goals, as we'd expect so far. Like I said, we'll try and keep you up to date with what's happening elsewhere. Here's Ryan, looking to swing that one into the penalty area in the first touch of the day for Nat Lacey in the Belconnen goal. Pretty routine for the shot stopper, and sends it out wide here to Whittle. She'll look to take on Jameson, who does well. Concedes the throw. A lot of pace from Maddie Whittle there, isn't there? And she's definitely got an eye for goal.
Yeah, she does. The way she turns the ball with a body position, she almost tells the player one way and goes the next.
Day.
It's very creative.
Field from Ma. Jaloka steals, and off she goes. Nicole Jaloka, first chance into the penalty, and that's a good challenge by Beck Keating. Needed to be. Jameson completes the clearance. Only as far as Fauna, under pressure from Keir. 2 Belconnen shirts around her now. Woodman got involved too, but they work it away through Field and Ma to Rojan. Dawson snapping at her heels straight away. There was Pike, and here's a chance perhaps early on for Maguire, but their touch let her down a bit. It's very noticeable early on now that both sides not letting anybody rest on their laurels in the middle of the park. Yeah,
they're definitely pressing on each other quite well, which is causing quick touches and at sometimes scrappy football.
Here's Rojan. Dawson, who was impressive last week against Tuggeranong. Ma again. Perpetual motion from Grace Ma, always looking for space. She's going to get this one back. Mickey Day's on her heels. Fauna. Field again. Looking for Ma, but Keir's there. Day. And Belconnen comfortable in possession at the moment. Clark goes to Rashart, who many would know as Jessie Pritchard as well. Of course, Elsie got married and changed her name. She did, yeah, and she's just recently also had a baby, probably just under 3 months, so it's fantastic to see her already out in the park. Yeah, incredible to see her back so quickly, and wonder if she's getting much sleep. Yes, it's a challenge. She's definitely at training Tuesdays and Thursdays, so I think with great support from her partner, she's doing really well. Yeah, great to see her back out there. This is Dawson under pressure, and Jaloka's come away with it. Looking for the runner ahead, who's Murphy. Keating's gone across to win the ball, but Murphy's kept it in play. Bassa Silk's challenging. Belconnen happy to keep possession and come back once more. And Pike finds Rashart. Slow tempo at the moment. Woodman does well to get that one back to Clark. We know she can pick a pass. On that occasion, didn't quite come off, but it's broken for Keir, who slides it behind. Now Murphy could be in here. Chance for Murphy. Herodimos came out. It's a bit of a mess, and Keating has to tidy up. Unfortunately for Olympic, they were there to tidy that ball up, and that's no foul on Rojan. And away comes Vecchi. Nice break from her, and a good little ball forward, looking for the run of Ryan, who tries to turn, and Ryan's got in here. Shooting chance perhaps for Vanessa Ryan, and it's well charged down and blocked in the back there in the end by, I think that was that Maguire? Was that Jessie Pritchard? Pritchard, anyone said it, there you go. Rashart challenging back to block. Half a chance though on the break. Yeah, she did well there. Turning on the inside, Jessie Pritchard unfortunately has the longest legs in the world, so she was able to get a foot in. Clark to start again for the Blue Devils. It's a raking ball forward, asking for the runner, who was Whittle, but that's asking a bit too much. That's all the way through to Herodimos. Bit of a miscommunication there between Herodimos and Keating for a moment, you think, when Murphy almost got in? Yeah, definitely. Herodimos got her hand to it, but unfortunately wasn't able to grab it, but Keating did really well to clear. His Day, and that's a good run on the overlap by Pike. Into the middle towards Murphy. Keating reads it. Dawson clears, but it's only as far as the Belco midfield again, and they'll push once more. Day tries to slide that one through, didn't quite come off for her. But it's noticeable early on that both sides, as I said, not settling too much at the moment. The press is good, and it needs to be. Haradimos restarts it. It's a little bit short. Vecchi picks up. Nice ball to Jameson, looking for a runner ahead, and she's challenged by Maguire. Finds Fawn, and that one's out of play. Belconnen throw, which Lauren Keir will take. How important is it for you, El, the first goal in these kind of matches?
Yeah, it definitely makes a difference. I think it takes a little bit of pressure off and helps the team settle in, knowing that they can attack and finish the job. So for Belconnen to score first, I think it would really make an indent in this game.
Here's Clark at the back, happy to bring it forward, and clips the ball down the wing, but Whittle haven't made that run. The ball's out of play. Not much wind here today, very cold. Some horrendous weather through Canberra last night.
Yeah, the wind's definitely settled down. It was very windy this morning at 11 when the 17s kicked off, but it's thankfully settled for this game.
Did you miss the rain this morning as well?
We did, yes. We were quite lucky. Just a few spits here and there, but nothing.
Yeah, the temperature certainly changes in Canberra very quickly. It was very warm, even on Friday when we had a bit of rain through here. It was pretty warm, and now it's very cold. Nice day for football, though. Watching the top two teams in the women's competition on Bar TV Sports. Women's NPL from Capital Football. No score between Canberra Olympic and Belconnen United. No real chances of note as yet. Dawson beaten to it. Woodman goes back to Pike. Clips it to this near side. Looking for Maguire, but Jamison's in front of her. And Lauren Keir happy to let that go out for a throw. Clark. Rashard. Two experienced central defenders there, El, and they're happy to knock the ball around, very composed on the ball as well, looking to pick a pass.
Yeah, they take their time, they're very composed, and they have great communication on and off the ball.
There was an example of that ball there, and Grace Basser-Silk had to be on her toes to get rid of that one.
Yeah.
Sends it off down into the wilderness. Typical suburban oven here at O'Connor Enclose. They've got the multi-goal posts as well, which aren't to the liking of many people. His day. Not much ahead of her, so she has to come backwards to start again. Jaloka under pressure from field. Turns nicely though, and gets away from the midfielder for the second time. Woodman helps it on its way to Keir. Comes back inside, looking for an angle. A sliding ball forward, but that's read at the back by Basser-Silk, and she hooks it out towards Jamison, but Maguire's very quick, and she got a foot in, breaks for Clark. Maguire again, nice little 1-2, and you can see what they're trying to do there. There's no rest for this Olympic defence, is there?
No, they're coming in hard and fast, using those channels on the wide side.
You can't legislate for pace in this game.
That's right.
Here's Rojan, back to Keating. Sends it forward, one in the air by Clark-Well. Vecchi, she has to be careful here. Gets it forwards. Dawson looks to turn Pike, but Pike's got her under control. Good pressure though from the Olympic winger. Day. And she'll go back to Rashard. Day made herself available again. Turns on the afterburners, but gives the ball away to Basser-Silk. Now here's Mar, pocket of space for her to work in. Looks for Ryan down the channel, but that's well read defensively by Clark, who's happy to concede the throw. And that's where Grace Mar's at her most dangerous, isn't it, El, when she's in those pockets of space running at goal? Yeah,
definitely. The minute she faces forward, she's very hungry and can concede many goals.
And she can definitely hit a ball from that distance.
Oh, 100%.
Clark sends it back out again. Be another throw-in. Looking ahead to next week, both these sides have tough fixtures. Belconnen play on Saturday night against Tuggeranong United at McKellar Park. Canberra Olympic in action against Gungahlin United. So tough matches ahead. There's really no easy ones in the Women's Premier League these days.
No, definitely not. It's great to see such a challenge with at least the top 4 in the Women's League, creating quite a spark.
Well, these two we're expecting to be there or thereabouts come the end of the season. This may be a chance, maybe a preview of the final, even with the quality that they've got on the field. Canberra C, I'm sure the reigning grand final winners will have something to say about that.
Yes, definitely. I'm sure we'll see them up there as well.
Haven't seen them myself this season, but I'm hearing that they're doing some good things.
Yeah, they're looking really sharp. Very similar squad to last year, and with the hunger of the win under their belts, I think they're ready and raring to go this season.
Speaking of last year's final, Belconnen losing it in such heartbreaking fashion on penalties after conceding in the last minute of extra time, that'll give them a little bit of hunger to go back and try and win their trophy back?
Yeah, definitely. I think from the minute we started pre-season, that was on our minds, to come back and regain a trophy and regain a bit of respect.
Yeah, it's been the property of Belconnen for a number of years now. It's almost like it lives in the trophy cabinet in McKellar Park.
Yes, we've got quite comfortable with a few trophies.
It's a challenge for teams like Olympic to stop that. Canberra C did it last year, and I'm sure Olympic will be wanting a piece of that this year. Here's Ma on the centre circle, so flicking the ball forward. Clark's got there first, and she'll get it back off Day. Ma doesn't give her a moment's peace though, and Keir. It's very noticeable from the Belconnen defence, so they're all 4 of them reasonably experienced, and that's a bit loose. Here's Dawson. The shot comes in, but that's no pace to trouble the keeper. I was just about to say they rarely make a mistake and then they go and do that. But as I was saying, generally their back 4, they're very comfortable and composed and they don't rush.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of experience there.
That's a free kick. A wild swing from Silk. Two coaches across, Eddie Senatori, the head coach of Canberra Olympic, and Anthony Jagorinic, who's been coach of Belconnen for a number of years now. Clark sends that one forward. Jemison hooks it in the air, and it's cleared by Silk. Up to Ma. Gives it away. This is Whittle. And Day. Murphy, that's good movement. And Woodman goes back to Pike. And this is that passing that we were talking about, comfortable on the ball. That one's a bit loose, and Rojan will pick it up, but she's let Solsfield a bit short there, and that's a free kick, surely. A pull on the shirt by Nicole Joloka, and that's the W League experience for Grace Field showing out there as Joloka was threatening to get away from her. Probably lucky to escape a card.
Yeah, definitely. Cheeky little shirt grab going forward.
Well, this is the first set piece of note. Lauren Keir's behind it. Not a huge amount of height in the Belconnen side, but Keir can drop this one in, cause some problems. In fact, she's gone for goal, and it's dipping, and it's hit the top of the crossbar of the multi-purpose goal. Talking about the coaches, when I used to play against Anthony Jagorinic, he was a really fiery character as a footballer. What's he like to work with as a coach?
Yes, I've also seen him play, which is very interesting and always good for a laugh on the field. As a coach, he's a very supportive coach. I've coached now for 5 years with Belconnen, and he's definitely taught me a lot and supported me the whole way through, and I think most of the coaches at Belconnen can definitely veto that. He's always there for a chat, and the support that he provides is really overwhelming at times. He's always there for us.
And he's done well with this group. And it's all about bringing, there's what we were talking about beforehand about the succession and bringing the pathways through, and he's all about promoting young players if they're ready to play at these levels, and he's done that over the years, and we can see a few of them out there today.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Lauren Keir is a great example of that, debuting as probably one of the youngest, I think, female Belconnen players at the age of, correct me if I'm wrong, I think 14 years of age. She played her first Premier League match and is now captaining the side in the Premier League, which is fantastic to see, and she's grown immensely as a player and as a person, as I know her outside of football as well. So yeah, he looks after the club, not just the Premier League team, and I think that's why Belconnen's so successful in the focus of under 13s to the Premier League and not just the Premier League itself.
Well, Ma looks to put that over the top towards Faulkner, and Keir is in the picture looking to challenge the midfielder, and she's got a toe in, and not just once but twice concedes the free kick. In fact, Lauren Keir seems to have been around forever as a footballer.
Yeah, she's plagued by injury at the start of this season and in the pre-season with some back injuries and then a quad. But she's looking sharp, and she's been focusing on her fitness off the field this year. So hopefully she'll stick with it.
And she's still quite young now, and you said she made her debut at 14. I thought it was about 10. It felt like it was that long ago.
Yeah, no, she was quite young.
Ma takes his free kick, whips that into the area, bounces around dangerously. Here's a chance for Ryan, and the keeper comes out, and Nat Lacey does well, I think, in the end, to get something on that, because that was a chance for Vanessa Ryan, the first real one we've seen.
I think Nat just copped a bit of a knee then, limping away.
It was a very brave piece of goalkeeping, actually, because Ryan swung the boot at it, and if she got any contact from that range, it was definitely ending up in the back of the net, and Lacey's done exceptionally well to save from that distance. But a dangerous ball in from Ma, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Definitely caught the defenders off guard.
Well, she sauntered across to take the corner. Lacey just... I'll say she's getting some treatment, but she's getting Mickey Days over her. Mickey Day, obviously a physio. We saw her on Friday. She was very busy in the men's Premier League match against Woden Western and Olympic. She's the Canberra Olympic physio for the men's team, plays for Belconnen and the women. So she was busy on Friday with players. And she's just checking on Nat Lacey there, and she'll have to be on her toes to here, because if Ma dropped this one in again, if you're being cynical, you'd say drop this right on her head, wouldn't you, Al? Let's see what Ma can do. She does swing it into a dangerous area. Chance the header from Rojan, helped on by Ryan. It's poked towards goal. It may have gone over the line. There's an almighty scramble, and Lacey's down on it. And that was a chance again.
Very lucky then at Lacey. Bit of a scramble with the defenders in the way.
Belconnen dodge one there. Here's Keir. Jemieson's in. Rojan. Ryan. Ma, that's good football, and Ryan's tried to get in behind the back again, but this time Rashard's got it covered. Olympic beginning to look dangerous. Rashard sends it long. Jemieson's missed it. Keating needs to cover, and Maguire was putting her under pressure. Belco looking to calm things down a little bit. Nervous moments there for Anthony Jagarinick's team. Lauren Keir looking to take the throw. She'll get it back. Might swing this one into the air. It's a good ball in. Half a chance here for Whittle. Lays it back. Jalocka. Can he get a shot away? Woodman. Jalocka again. Maguire. Bounces off of Rojan. Woodman tries a spectacular back heel flick. Clark. Up towards Whittle. Nice turn. Sharply away from the Olympic defenders. Woodman square. Woodman strikes it, but she was always off balance, and that one's cut away. But better football from Belconnen. So if you're Anthony Jagarinick, are you pleased with what you've seen at the moment, or are you a little bit concerned about how easy the two set pieces have caused them problems?
Yeah, a little uneasy. I think we look a little bit rushed at times. I think Olympic are closing us down very quickly and not allowing us to find those pocket balls that we love to play. So it'll be interesting to see the changes he makes at half-time and what he's thinking.
Well, Haradimas takes a goal kick. It was won by Woodman, and Day can try and help it back. Gets a second bite off of Vecchi, and off she goes, and down she goes, and that's a free kick right on the edge of the penalty area. And that's what Mickey Day brings to the team, isn't it? A little bit of skill and that burst of acceleration when she's got it.
She does. She gets the ball at her feet and she drives.
Well, this is a danger. Opportunity for Belconnen perhaps to get this into the danger zone. Woodman's planted herself on the edge of the 6-yard box with Jalocka. Whittle's in there as well, looking to sniff around, looking for the pieces. And Mickey Day could swing this one in, and Haradimas needs to be on her toes, because this might be a direct effort at a goal from Mickey Day from this angle.
And they've just sent Rashard in for some height in that 6-yard box to cause some trouble.
And she drops in onto the back post. Day does swing it towards goal all the way and into the top corner. We mentioned that she's got the ability to do it from there, and she certainly does, and the first shot she gets on target. Belconnen lead 1-0.
That's a great start. I think Belconnen United needed that.
Do you think Haradimas will be a little bit disappointed?
Yeah, she will. She's actually a very young player to mention, Russ. She's also an ex-Belconnen player. So she'll be disappointed, but she did well to get up.
Well, there was always an opportunity for them at the other end. Ryan goes for an immediate equaliser. It hits the crossbar. And Olympic were almost straight back in it, right from the kickoff. And Vanessa Ryan was unlucky with the finish. Beautiful lob. Comes back off the bar. Well, it was a slow burner to start with this, Al, and then we've had a goal and a chance within a few seconds.
Yeah, there was a great counter-attack from the Canberra Olympic team just then. I think caught Belconnen quite off guard.
Here's Murphy, looking to find Maguire. It's a good ball in the middle of the field, and Joloka's got some space to work with. Whittle, Pike's outside her, and that ball is just overhit. And after waiting for a couple of chances for what felt like a long time, we got a goal and a half chance within seconds of each other, and there's a little bit of a response from Olympic if Belconnen thought they were going to have this easy. Rashart, nicely taken down by Murphy. Maguire, you can see what she's trying to do, didn't quite come off for her. Murphy's there again, but good pressure by Vecchi. Murphy wins it back, and that's a good ball looking for Whittle. Should do well to keep that in though. Doesn't quite manage it. But Gemma Murphy, there's not a lot of her, is there, in terms of size, but she puts herself about and she does hold the ball up pretty well. Yeah, she does quite well. Sometimes I wonder how she doesn't get caught the foul, because she does use her arms to make herself as big as she can. Well, there's a mistake, and here's Mickey Day into the penalty area again, and this time the finish not quite as good as her set piece was a moment ago, but Haradimas rushed that goal kick, didn't quite work for her. They tried to go short, and there's the danger. Yeah, they weren't quite set up yet. It's admirable to play out from the back there, isn't it? But sometimes, if it's not on, it's better to just send it up the field. Yeah, that's right. So she's let Beck Keating take over the goal kick duties on this occasion. The experienced defender will look to send this as far as she can. Looking for a blue shirt. It's going to drop for Day, though. The goal scorer wins the header. Here's Woodman. Day prods it forward, and Rojan gets there. And with Olympics' response to this, where do they go? Yeah, I think they need to tighten up in the midfield, as they did in the first sort of 10 minutes of the game. I think they laxed a little bit and were rushed on the counter-attack. So I think they need to just tighten up in the midfield and use a bit more width as they go forward. Rojan finds Fields. Bassa Silk goes up the line towards Dawson. Pike's on her back. Progress score from Deakin Stadium, we're hearing that already. Canberra FC are 4-0 up on Woden Western. Some start there for Canberra FC. We were talking about them being in the mix as well, and they're proving it over there, aren't they? Yeah, definitely. That's a great first half score. Obviously they played exactly the amount of time that we've played here as well, and they're already 4-0 up, so bags of goals. Wonder where that one will end. Only the one here so far, but it's a vital one. Michaela Day's free kick. Whittle turns Bassa Silk off, heads off towards the penalty. A good run this into the box. Opportunity if she can pull it back. Murphy's in there, it's deflected, and it's just wide of goal. And that was a good piece of defending from Jameson. Otherwise, Murphy would have made it 2-0. She did very well to get a foot in there. Yeah, to all intents and purposes, it looked like that was going to end up in the back of the net. But great incisive run from Whittle. She's got that in her locker, doesn't she, El? Yeah, she does. She's a very exciting player. Well, here's the corner. Once again, half a dozen light blue jerseys in and around the penalty spot, looking to get on the end of this. It's a very flat delivery, and Rojan pushes it away, and Dawson helps it on its way out. Day picks it up. Nice step over. Creates some space for herself, and that one's asking a little bit of Maguire, who's got the pace to get there and does well, but didn't quite keep it in. Overhit a couple of those so far. You're watching live football on Bar TV Sports, Women's National Premier League. From O'Connor Enclosed, it's Canberra Olympic 0, Belconnen United 1, Michaela Day's goal from a free kick, separating the top two teams in the Premier League. Heading into the weekend, Canberra Academy slotted into second place yesterday with a 7-1 win over Monero Panthers. And if this result stays the same, they'll stay there. Unless, of course, Canberra FC can rack up the goals against Woden Western. They've already got 4. Jaloka under pressure. Rojan goes back to Bassa Silk. She's facing the wrong way there. Have to be careful, and that's a lovely turn. And then she wins a free kick. Beautiful turn from Bassa Silk there. Plays a bit of futsal, doesn't she, Alan? You could see in that kind of skills.
Yeah, she holds the ball tight at her feet, which is very handy.
Keating will take the free kick.
It's interesting, the Olympic have settled with a back 4 now.
Bassa Silk challenging Maguire. Comes out on top in that tussle. Clark, right-footed, sends it forward, and Keating wins the header. Rojan picks it up in midfield. Bassa Silk looks for the run, but overhits the pass, and Rashard can claim it from Clark. And she looks to send it forward towards Whittle, who physically is shoved off it by Fields. Goes back looking for it. Still Field right in front of the commentary position to Vecchi. Does well in the end, and then sends it forward looking for Ryan, but she's not made the run, and it's easily picked up by Rashard. Kier left it a bit short for Clark, who got there. Sends it forward. Keating wins it. Loose ball though, and Whittle's there to it first. Now Woodman goes to Jaloka, round the corner for Murphy. Field wins the midfield duel. Finds Fauna. Looking to send that one forward again, but easily picked out by Clark, who looks to flick it back over the top and ask Pike to get after it. But Olympic look a lot better when they're not forcing those long balls and they're trying to play those short passes. Yeah,
they do. They get around Belconnen quite well when it's the midfield's tight and they're using the 1-2 touch combinations. The long ball's usually locked down quite quickly by Karen and Jessie at the back.
Here's Ryan holding it up this time. Very tight on the back of her as well, and that's asking Dawson to get on the end of it, but her touch only went as far as Clark. It's been picked up by Pike. Jaloka comes to this near side, and Kier's made a run forward. She'll look to take on Jemison. Backing herself here, but Victoria Jemison is pretty quick. Both fullbacks like to get forward, don't they?
Yeah, they do. It's creating that overlap.
Well, we've seen
driving into the space there.
We saw Pike doing it on that on the far side, and Kier's done it on this near side. And they've got a corner out of that one.
Canberra Olympic aren't happy with that decision.
No, Carla Martin's the assistant on this near side, and she said that came off of a dark blue shirt. And as Elle says, they're not particularly happy, and they'll have to defend this one. They'll be ropeable if they score off it.
Yeah, definitely.
Jaloka's coming across, got a heavily bandaged right thigh there. Is that something she brought into the game?
I think she's had a previous cork a few games back, and it's more of a preventative measure.
Well, she's going to take the corner with that right foot, pulls it backwards. She's going to get a second opportunity to deliver, sends it back into the mix. Field sends it away, and Dawson tries to complete the clearance. Couldn't get it very far away, and Maguire into the danger zone. Vecchi clears. Maybe a chance on the break here. Fauna. But Kier battles away, and Fauna sends that over towards Ryan. Now an opportunity to stretch her legs perhaps for Vanessa Ryan, and that's a super bit of defending back there by Rashard. The loose ball's picked up by Ma. Field's broken with her. Now Rojan. Field again. Lovely tackle sliding in by Jaloka to win the ball. Fauna goes to Ma. She shoots from distance. Pike blocked it. Goes back to Fauna. Lovely ball to Ma. This is looking dangerous from Olympic. Here's Rojan. Jaloka's there again. And she completes the clearance. But what a fantastic tackle by Nicole Jaloka on the edge of the penalty area.
Yeah, that was goal-saving tackle there.
Had to time it to perfection as well, otherwise that would have been a free kick in a very dangerous situation.
Yeah, it's always risky sliding at the top of the box. You want to know how to do it.
Here's Fauna. She's come into the game a little bit over the last 5 or 10 minutes. Likes the ball to feet, Alexia Fauna. She's probably the least experienced of their midfield 4. It's back with Haradimos. Murphy's putting under pressure. Vecchi. Almost a bit loose, but Jamieson gets there, and this is dangerous. Keating has to prod it forward, and Jamieson can bring it away. And she sends it forward, looking for Ma, who's made the run this time, but Rashart's across. Keir, right-footed down the line. Murphy's ever-willing runner, but Keating beat her to it. Here's Vecchi. Dawson beaten to it by Pike. Vecchi gets it again, though. And showed too much of that one to Maguire. And she wins the throw-in. And Belconnen have gone on with it quickly. And they've caught them out of position here. And opportunity perhaps for Maguire. Swings it in. But the pass towards Whittle wasn't accurate enough. When Olympic was standing around complaining, and Belconnen just got on with it.
Yeah, it was quite risky there. Belconnen taking the opportunity to move it quickly and play on and play the whistle.
I think Maguire will be a little bit disappointed with the final delivery.
Yeah, I think she rushed it.
His day. That's a much better looking ball, and Jaloka might be in here. Haradimos comes out and spreads herself well. Great save. It's still loose. Murphy was in there too, but what a good stop from Haradimos.
Well done, and seconds as well.
Good spot from Michaela Day for the run, and Jaloka was almost in, and if it wasn't for the bravery of the goalkeeper, may have made it 2. Belconnen might not be done yet, though. That's a super tackle from Bassa Silk. Thumping challenge. And look at the space here, though, for Maguire. She's only got Murphy and Whittle in the area, and she's dug that one towards the far post. Whittle will do well to keep this in again. She's got the pace to do so, though. Will look to take on Jamieson. Cuts inside. Good ball into the area. Keating, though, uses all of experience to get rid of it. Mars missed control, and Keir tries to pick it up, but Mars went in again. Now Fields asks Ryan to make an option for her, and she does after a fashion, and wins her team a throw. They want to go quickly. Here's Ma looking to run at Day, clipping it over the top towards Ryan, and Ma goes down under the challenge, and we're going to get a free kick here, are we? No, looked like it for a second.
Whistle went in the mouth of the referee, but she didn't blow it.
She let it go. I think she was torn between letting the advantage go, but there wasn't really any there.
No, it was...
Jamieson back to Keating. Vecchi. Rojan. Field. Keating. Olympic finding their feet over the last few minutes, and Keating striding forward here. No one going with her, and there's a bit of space on this near side for Ma. We know she can deliver a ball. Has she got an option in the air? Chips it into the box. Ryan was there. Didn't make any effort to challenge for it, though.
Clark did well to get up on that header.
Yeah, it was Clark that completed the clearance. Otherwise, Ryan might have had a simple header from 6 yards out.
It's a great ball in.
But Olympic beginning to look a bit dangerous.
It's a great driving run from Beck Keating.
So it's the first time she's really brought it out from the back, isn't it? And I think she might be encouraged to do it more.
Yeah, I think she saw the space and had the option, so she took it.
Woodman. Well, that's sold short, and Jamison's read it, but Keir has come back to win it, and now Jamison's out of position, and Whittle is away here. Cuts inside. Can she slide the ball forward and win the wrong side of Maguire? And Grace Bassa Silk covered well. Now it's Olympic's turn. Jamison. Field. Jaloka. And Keating has it at the back for Olympic again. Bassa Silk forward towards Dawson. And across goes Pike to win the challenge. Olympic settled into the game a lot more now, El, and they're looking dangerous when they go forward.
Yeah, they are. They're looking a lot more composed on the ball. And there's a lot of movement going forward.
Well, Vecchi is chasing that one back. She tries to play it off of Murphy. Gets a bit lucky in the end, and Murphy still won't let her rest. It's all in a bit slow motion over there at the moment. Dawson, not really been in the game as much this week, Lily Dawson. Caused Tuggeranong all sorts of problems down that flank at Canberra last weekend. It's Ma. Pitching wedge out from Keating. Keir sends it back to Whittle. Now Woodman. Steps over and comes back to Keir, and asked a lot for Lauren Keir, who's stretching. Concedes a throw. If you just tuned in, it was a goal from Michaela Day that separates the two teams direct from a free kick. Well, Keating's missed that one, but Jamison's there, and here's Rojan. Woodman straight on her as soon as she gets it, but she picks a lovely ball out wide to Bassa Silk. She'll look to stretch her legs. Comes inside. Dawson. Now Ma. Fields. Rojan. Shields the ball well. Now Keating. Slides it down towards Fauna. She chips it over the top. Ryan's in there, but that's good defending again from Rashart. Not once but twice, and she's still going, Rashart, and does brilliantly in the end. But Olympic looking dangerous when they get into these little pockets of space. And Jessie Rashart used all her experience there, Al, to get rid of that one.
Yeah, she's great in the air. Very strong, holds her own. She left football for a few years to play AFL, which I think has definitely helped her strength and confidence in the air.
Well, Murphy will chase that ball, but Keating has got the pace and the nous to deal with it. When she treads on it, and that's a bit of an error, but can she recover it? She does. A bit lucky in the end, but only gives it to Whittle. And Rojan uses all her experience to tidy up. Uncharacteristic error there from Keating.
Yeah, it's interesting. The field is quite spongy today.
We had a lot of rain on it overnight, didn't we? And it did feel like, when I walked across it earlier, that it was, as you say, a little bit spongy underfoot.
The ball seems to be moving at quite a decent speed. But
it's early in the season. It's looking in reasonably good nick, this field, actually.
yeah, it is actually.
We've seen it look quite horrendous over the years.
Yeah, it's interesting. The goal box is usually the worst part of the field, but it's actually looking really good.
It's not had so much traffic through it this year. Is Ma. She's giving it away to Jaloko, who tries a luck from distance, and it was dipping and swerving, and in the end that's a decent save from Haradimos.
She did well to get up there.
Well, that caught everyone by surprise. Jaloko firing in one from distance. If that had been either side of Haradimos, she may have been struggling. Is that something she pulls out in training occasionally from that distance?
Yeah, she does love a shot.
And you can strike it like that, you can see why.
Yeah.
And credit to the keeper as well to get two hands on it, because it dipped at the last minute, didn't it?
Yeah, and she's not the tallest of keepers. Oh, she did very well to get a touch there.
Yeah, she was caught out by that free kick, which went in just over her head, as you say. She's not the tallest of keepers. Neither is Nat Lacey at the other end, to be fair.
No, that's right.
Well, here's an opportunity then for the free kick, or for the corner rather. Maguire will take it. She's got her gloves on today, probably for the first time this season. That's a good ball. Swung in, looking towards Rashart, and had to be cleared. Falls for Day. Thought about the volley, then sends it back in again, but that's always going wide. Good piece of defending by Olympic. Lovely delivery though, wasn't it?
Yeah, great ball in by Jazzy.
We're closing into half-time. Still the only one goal in it. We'll try and keep you up to date with what's happening over at Deakin, where it was 4-0 to Canberra FC in the early stages of that game in the Women's Premier League. No score at the Riverside between Monera Panthers and Canberra FC in the men's NPL as well. Monera, of course, starting the season with a 1-0 win against Olympic a couple of weeks ago. And 1-0 here. Mickey Day's goal separating Belconnen United and Canberra Olympic. Here's Rojan. Ma. And Dawson. And Pike's read it well. Watched her last week, Lily Dawson. She was a bundle of energy up and down that wing, but if they've done their homework on her, they're not allowing her to turn at all.
Yeah, I think they're shutting her down quite well. Bronte Pike's got a lot of pace on her and recovers very quickly.
Well, here's Whittle. Jameson's with her as well, but Maddie Whittle. And Jameson's robbed her and can try and bring it forward. And off she goes. And then looks to slide that one through for Ryan. And out came Lacey. The flag stayed down.
Yeah, it did look close for the offside.
There's good anticipation from Lacey, wasn't it? What do you think she was on?
Oh, I think she might have been off. I'm not sure. It would have been close.
It's difficult to say these days, isn't it? Because if you don't play the ball, they don't put the flag out.
Yeah, that's right.
Is Ma. She looks to clip one over the top. Looking for the run of Fauna, but Kia had that under control from the moment it left the boot. Clark. Rashart. Gives it back to Clark. And she looks to clip one forward as well. Murphy is the willing runner, but that's going to roll through to Haradimos. Overhit that one. You can see what they're trying to do there, trying to release Murphy into those spaces. Day was there after Woodman won the header. Now Ma, she tries to slide it through, and again Ryan is on the bike, but Rashart gets there first. And Clark can bring it away. Switch to this near side, here's Whittle. Jameson tracks the run. Jalocka. And Phil gets a foot in, but it breaks for Whittle. Now Murphy. Jalocka's still there, but Jameson's defended well again. Vecchi, under pressure from Murphy. The striker's got there, and Vecchi's recovered her own mistake and conceded the throw. Victoria Jameson on this wing's done very well defensively. She's coped with the threat pretty well, hasn't she, El, the fullback?
Yeah, she has. Maddie Whittle's driving through quite a lot, and she's shut her down quite well.
That one's volleyed in by Jalocka, but that's all the way through to Haradimos, who for a brief second lost control of it, and Gemma Murphy thought she was going to get a tap in. Flick forward towards Fauna. Ma. Rojan. Fauna. Runs into Woodman. Now Whittle. Jemson's on her quick again. Keir. To this near side, and Woodman has it. Back to Keir. Whittle lets it run, lovely turn, and Fauna needs to get back and track this one. Whittle fires it across the area, and Vecchi's there to defend well for Olympic. Brings it forward to Jemison. And that's the half-time whistle, and it's been an intriguing first half, and we've only had the one goal, but it's been fairly even apart from that. Yeah,
definitely. I think the counter-attack from Olympic has been very worrying for Belconnen, showing some great possession in the midfield as well at times. I think Belconnen showed some good possession as well. A few long balls not going to their liking in the first half, but hopefully in the second half we'll see some more attacking football from both sides.
Who stood out for you on the field at the moment for both teams?
I think Maddie Whittle always going forward. She's been shut down well, but at times she's looked very dangerous facing forward if she gets the opportunity. And Jalocka obviously coming out with a screamer. Unfortunately, Herodimus getting a touch and going over the crossbar. But in terms of Olympic, I think Beck Keating's really solid at the back, driving forward and creating some real opportunities, moving the ball well.
When Nicole Jalocka's shot, which you talked about there, was forced to save from Melina Haradimos, she pushed it over the crossbar. At the other end, there was a couple of half chances. It looked like Nat Lacey made a great save from Vanessa Ryan, and they almost scored off the resultant corner. But at the break here, live on Bar TV Sports, it's the one goal that separates the two sides, and it came from Michaela Day from a free kick out wide, drilled in over the head of the keeper into the top corner. Lovely finish from the midfielder. Join us for the second half, but at half-time at O'Connor enclosed in the Women's National Premier League, it's Canberra Olympic 0, Belconnen 1. Welcome back to O'Connor Enclosed for the second half of this women's NPL match live on Bar TV Sports. It's Canberra Olympic versus Belconnen United. I'm Russ Gibbs, your commentator. With me in the commentary box for this second half is Elle Weston again. Elle, we enjoyed the first half. We were saying off air that it was played at a reasonable tempo, but we're expecting these teams this half to really kick on and give us a bit of a spectacle.
Yeah, good evening, Russ. It's great to be back. It's interesting. Hopefully the second half will bring more goals and some more exciting football. It's been a pretty moderate tempo of game in the first half, so hopefully it'll pick up in the second.
Half-time score at the Riverside Stadium. I'm hearing it's Monero Panthers 0, Canberra FC 1. A goal from Julian Borgner 3 minutes before half-time separates those two teams. Monero Panthers, of course, won their first match in the Men's Premier League, and this is the first game of the season for Canberra FC, having missed their first-round game postponed and a bye in the second round. Here in the Women's Premier League, we were hearing it was 4-0 to Canberra FC over Woden Western early on. We haven't had any more updates from there. We'll try and bring some more if we can. Two teams out on the fields. Olympic in the first half, Haradimos in goal, Vecchi, Keating and Jameson. Fieldmar, Roshan, Fauna, Bassasilk, Ryan and Dawson the front three. Doesn't look like they've made any changes, and no changes either for Belconnen, who line up with Lacey in goal, Pike, Clark, Rashart and Keir across the back, Day, Woodman and Jaloka in midfield, Whittle, Murphy and Maguire up front. Ella, at half-time we were speaking about how Canberra Olympic can get back into this, and we thought perhaps they were playing too many long balls at the back there, which were easily cut out by Clark and Rashart, and they looked a lot more dangerous when they were playing it around on the floor. Yeah,
they did. Driving through the midfield, they looked quite dangerous, so it'd be nice to see them with some overlapping runs in the second half with their 2 and 5 going forward. Creating some more opportunities. Yeah, the only goal of the first half was a set piece scored by Michaela Day, and that's her on the ball starting the second half to Pike. Belconnen were looking to continue where they left off, having won their first 2 matches of the season, or 3 matches of the season rather. They beat Canberra FC 4-0, they beat Monero Panthers 5-0, and they had a 3-2 win over Woden Western last week, which was probably a bit closer than they expected. Yeah, it was. It was interesting to concede the 2 goals. I'm sure Anthony was unhappy with that result.
They don't concede many, do they? No,
they don't, and we pride ourselves on that. It's quite a big deal at our club, so Woden Western did well to get 2 up.
Well, no goals against today. I'm looking pretty solid at the back, mainly because this back 4 looks very good on the ball. That's Rashart finding Keir. One's a bit loose. Fields there, and that's come off Clark. And she's miskicked that one. As soon as I said they look comfortable, they're giving the ball away and miskick one. So apologies to anyone of a Belconnen persuasion. Rajan finds Field. Gets it back. Jameson around the corner to Ma. Neat little turn. Keir's there though, and that's Jaloka in the middle of the field, and Ma wins it back. Forward towards Fauna. Keating. And that one's overhit down the line. What do you think Eddie Senatori would have been saying to his Olympic players at half-time?
I think if they could go back to sort of the first 10 minutes of the first half, they pressed really well. They provided a lot of pressure on the Belconnen United players as they arrived on the ball. So if they can go back to high intensity and high pressure situations, pressuring the Belconnen girls and not letting them face forward, I think they'll do some damage.
It's Fauna looking to get a touch away from Keir. Rashart sends it away, but there's a free kick. A little bit of a nudge there, or shirt pull from Lauren Keir perhaps. And definitely within range, I think, of Grace Marr, this one.
Yeah, Lauren's asking there. She's quite unsure of the foul.
Well, the referee indicating that there was an arm involved of some description.
Possibly a shirt pull even.
Yeah, well, this is an opportunity for Grace Marr. She'll line this one up, and as we said in the first half, Nat Lacey's not the tallest of goalkeepers.
This is great range for Grace.
Yeah, she's got the ability to get this up and down, and this left foot has done this in the past. Day did it in the first half. Here's Marr, lifts one in, drops, and it's into the net. Grace Marr does exactly what Michaela Day did in the first half. Brilliant free kick from the midfielder, and we're all square.
That's a great finish from Grace.
It's only taken 3 minutes of the second half, but there was always the danger as soon as the free kick was given.
Yeah, that's a great set piece from Grace Marr. Always a dangerous spot on top of the 18-yard box.
And Lacey couldn't keep it out, and we're all square. And that's just the start to the second half that Olympic would have wanted. And here's Dawson looking to expand on it. Clark's there. Jaloka. Pike. And Maguire looking for Jaloka. And she's got that away from Bassa Silk. And here goes Maguire. Running into the area, and it's picked off by Rojan back there. Bassa Silk. Dawson can't keep it in, but controversial circumstances, that one there, El, that free kick.
Yeah, definitely Lauren Kerr was very unsure of the foul. But the referee was...
And she was right there. And she,
right there, yeah.
And she gave the free kick, and Olympic made Belconnen pay. All square at O'Connor Close, live on Bar TV Sports, 1-1 in this crucial Women's Premier League match this early in the season.
Well, we asked for excitement in the second half, Russ, and I think we got it.
Certainly got it straight away, didn't we?
Yeah, definitely.
An early goal, always good. Keeps the game alive as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, we were just saying, not only moments ago, that Belconnen don't like conceding goals. They don't do it very often. Can they find one at the other end to restore their advantage? Woodman. Maguire heads it on. Murphy's there. Got there ahead of Vecchi. Keeps it in play. Now Maguire. That one's straight in the face of Bassa Silk. It's come straight back to Maguire. That's a nice tackle by Vecchi, and that'll be a free kick.
Well read by Vecchi, yeah.
A little nibble at the ankle there.
Little late there by Maguire. Great first time tackle from Vecchi to receive that foul.
Bassa Silk wore that one in the face, didn't she?
Yeah, she copped a good blow from Jazzy Maguire then. That would have stung.
She has a heavily strapped left thigh as well, so maybe she's suffering a similar thing. Here's Fields looking to take on Woodman. Comes inside to Rojan. Down the line to Dawson. Nice touch and turn, and off she goes. Dribbles through two. Still going, Lily Dawson. Good run this. Overrun it just in the end, and picked away by Rashad. Looking more dangerous this half so far, Dawson. Ma goes from distance, chips it goalwards, and just wide. She spotted Lacey marginally off her line, and again, she's got the technique to do it, and it wasn't far away, was it?
No, that was very close. Nat Lacey looked a little off footing there. Very lucky to go wide.
And maybe a little rattled by the goal she conceded. Belka needs to settle, because they're second best in the second half so far. That was well won by Jameson, and Rojan finds Fields. Well, she asked Bassa Silk to go off on a run. Maguire's back there tracking though, and the throw is to Canberra Olympic, who started really well this second half. Got in, get themselves back on terms via Mars free kick. 7 minutes of the second half gone. Fields looking to slide it into space. Jameson's there, but it was well read by Whittle. A midfield battle, and Jaloka's picked up the pieces. Looking for a runner ahead, and Murphy's found some space. She's only got Whittle inside her, and here is Whittle, and the flag goes up against the striker. Mistimed her run.
She was unlucky there. Good attacking play from Belconnen.
Looking at the substitutes, for Canberra Olympic, we've got Erin Rashida, Yoshida, Olivier Catherall, Jodie Kirkness, and Nikki Bailey. And Olympic have Amy Redmond, Belconnen have Amy Redmond, Jordan Beaton, Alex Martins, Leah Carnegie, and Sam Price. So a lot of talent on the benches as well. Yeah,
quite a bit of depth for both teams. A few of the players sitting on both benches have already been played for the reserve grade today, so some of them still quite warm from that, and I'm sure are very keen to get back on the field. There's a foul there. They'll play quickly.
Margot's quickly to Keating. She finds Fauna into the penalty area, looking to taunt and tease, looking to get a shot away, and Woodman comes across to block that, and the free kick goes Olympics' way, Belconner's way rather. That was Grace Marth's 6th goal of the season in only her 3rd game, so she started the season like a house on fire in front of goals. Pike. Maguire. It's a bit loose, and Field has it, and lots of space in which to run. Ma looks to find Fauna, but Jaloka saw that one coming from a mile off. Picks it off and sets her team into motion. Day looking to slide that ball down the line for Whittle, but Jameson's back. Keating. Jameson sends it forward, and Woodman's happy to head it out of play. So what do you think Antti Jagarinik does from here, El, having sent his team in at half-time 1-0 up? Now they find themselves level. Yeah,
it's interesting. It'd be interesting to see the substitutions that he might have to make to get some fresh legs back on the park.
Well, Woodman had that shot from distance, and that was always going over the crossbar. He's got some talent on that bench, hasn't he? He's got some attack-minded players as well, so if he wants to push for it, there's plenty of opportunity for him to do so.
Yeah, that's right. Leah Carnegie likes to come on and score goals, so it'd be interesting to see if he uses that as a little tool in the toolbox.
Well, at the moment, Haradimos takes the goal kick, and it's a bit short, and she's struggled with her goal kicks today a little. Rojan and Jaloka battling for it on the floor, and it's broken to Mickey Day. She shoots from distance, and it's fading away from goal, and it's a goal kick, but Day looks very dangerous when she gets into those positions, and she's been a bit quiet at the start of this second half, though.
Yeah, she has. Sitting quite deep in the midfield as well.
10 minutes gone in the second half, live on Bar TV Sports from O'Connor Enclosed. Canberra Olympic 1, Belconnen United 1 in the Women's National Premier League here in Canberra. Grey and overcast day, spitting with rain on and off.
There's a bit of movement on the Belconnen United bench.
Probably some people just putting their jumpers on because they're cold out. This one breaks for Maguire, who chips one from distance. It dips, and it's just over the crossbar. And that's better from Belconnen. So who's this getting prepped on the far side? Can you see that far? Can't really tell from this distance. But Belconnen will be making a change.
Redman taking off her tracksuit pants.
We'll be making a change shortly, I would imagine. Interesting to see where this happens. If this forces a bit of a reshuffle. That wasn't far away though from Maguire. Pike wins the header and tries to send it backwards again. Comes off her back though. Woodman to Rashad. Makir. Rashad again. Clark. Better football, but good pressure. Dawson on Pike. Doesn't let it go anywhere, Dawson, and does well to close it down. And it's noticeable that the press is a lot quicker and a lot faster this half, L, from Olympic.
Yeah, definitely. They're providing a lot of pressure on the back four of Belconnen United. Karen Clark screaming for the ball there from Bronte.
Prodded forward by Keating to Fauna, who tries to get past Keir, who concedes a free kick.
That's interesting.
And no doubt they'll send a few bodies forward here.
Keir not impressed, ending up on the ground and having the foul going the other way.
Yeah, an interesting call again. Well, Jameson will take this free kick. Looking to drop this into the danger area. Ryan is the obvious target, being the tallest one in there. That one's going to drop a bit short though, and Rashard can send it away. Jameson finds Fauna. Back to the fullback again, who clips it forward to Ma. The danger player, of course. Got the equaliser. One of half a dozen goals this year already for her, and trying to get past Mickey Day. But Mickey Day's been around for a while, and she's seen that from a number of players over the course of a few years, and you'd have to be around a lot longer than that to get past Mickey Day, eh?
Yeah, that's right. She's a very intelligent footballer and reads the play really well.
Well, she defended well there. We're hearing over at Monero, it's blown out a little bit for the Panthers in their NPL men's game. They're now 3-0 down at home. Julian Borgner's goal before half-time, and added to by Michael Tarazi and Thomas James. So plenty of goals there. We're still awaiting news from Deakin, in the Women's National Premier League, but in the men's it's Monero nil, Canberra FC 3. Here we are at 1-1. Ryan. Good challenge by Clark. And she'll prod that one forward, and here's a chance perhaps for Murphy to send Whittle on her bike down the right-hand channel. Jameson ahead of her. Here's Whittle looking to take on the fullback who's covered her quite well today, hasn't she? Yeah, she has. She's not allowed Whittle to turn and face forward with many opportunities, as Whittle loves to do, so she's done very well to shut her down. Ball's into the area, and out comes Haradimas to collect. Yeah, Maddie Whittle, who's scored 3 goals this season, scored in the opener against Canberra FC, the first of the season for the Blue Devils, and then bagged a brace against the Panthers. She's always amongst the goals. She got a bagful last year as well, if I remember rightly. Yeah, she creates a lot of chances. Sets up a lot of goals as well. Day finds Whittle. Off she goes, looking to create one into the penalty, and Maguire was there. A tentative clearance. Dawson, nice touch for Field. Peeled off looking for the return, but Field chooses to come to Bassasilk instead, who now releases Dawson. Tries to take on Pike and beat her, but Clark won the ball. Murphy rolled Vecchi. Keating was there. Now Fauna's going to pick this one up on the halfway line. Keir intercepted and looks to send off Whittle. Mickey Day did well to track there. Keir has it back. Stepping on the ball, looking to calm things down, looking for an option. Picks out Whittle, and she looks for the run of Jaloka. And Rojan's back to concede a corner, and Belconnen haven't had too many corners today. Not many opportunities for a set piece, and we'll see what's going to happen here. Is it Nicole Jaloka that's coming off here? Yeah, it looks to be. Amy Redmond coming on. Interesting change. Amy Redmond very strong in the midfield, very well composed. Just wondering if that's sort of an injury prevention substitution made by Belconnen. So do you think that will be a like-for-like change? Redmond will just slot into where Jaloka was playing? Yeah, definitely. I think Jaloka's not at 100%. We say that heavily strapped thigh didn't seem to impede her movements too much. Anyway, corner for Belconnen. Maguire has it. Looks to chip it in there, already towards Redmond. It bounces around, and Vecchi completes a clearance. Rojan's there ahead of Redmond. Maguire swings a deep one towards the far post, and Maddie Whittle, not particularly tall, couldn't get her head on that one. She made a vain attempt to jump for it, but it was slightly too high for her. Fortunate for Olympic, because there was 2 blue shirts there. Field's under pressure. This could be a chance. Olympic, though, get away with that and bring it away with Rojan. Now to Fauna. Rojan again. Goes back to Jameson. Keir wins the challenge. Looks to bring it forward. Murphy. Switched in towards Whittle. Goes down under the challenge on the edge of the area. No doing, says referee Carlina Mullet. Clark. Maguire. Murphy, great football, chance here for Karen Clark in the area, and what a fantastic block that is by Beck Keating. The first time that Belconnen in the second half have really carved an opening for themselves. Wonderful one-touch football, and Clark for a moment looked like she was in. Beck Keating did really well there. It was a great challenge, wasn't it, under pressure. 18 minutes of the second half gone, and that was a real chance for Belco to regain the lead. His Day. Field beats her in the midfield battle. Ma. Dawson's made a great run here, and the pass just couldn't find her, and Pike tracked her back. Will try to get rid of it, and does. Slides it forward, and Field's in there again. To Bassasilk, back to Field. Nicely worked by Olympic. Dawson. Flag goes up though for offside, but that was a lovely piece of football at the other end with Belconnen interchange of passes, and Clark denied by a fantastic tackle. Well, the free kick is for Belconnen. Clark sends it forward. It's a good-looking one too, and Whittle's after this, and she tries to get behind Keating, and here's Murphy bearing down a goal, and Gemma Murphy slides it past the goalkeeper, and Belconnen are back in front. One ball forward, a nice touch from Whittle, and Murphy, when she needed a finish, found one, tucked it away nicely past Haradimos. The Blue Devils back in front.
Great ball from Karen there. Just a quick touch from Whittle and on to Gemma. Anne will be very happy about that.
Some finish though when she got in. Was no panic, was there, from the young striker, and she's just slotted it past the goalkeeper.
No, she did well to get her head up. Man marked as well. Great finish.
Let's put Belconnen back in front. Lovely ball from Clark and a telling touch from Whittle. Now the Olympic responded before. Can they do the same again? Vecchi. Field. Forward towards Dawson, and Pike's there ahead of her, but Dawson gets a foot in, and Field helps it towards Dawson, and it's a good tackle from Woodman. Clark sends it forward. Here's Murphy, who scored that goal. Whittle, third of the season that for Murphy. Woodman goes square to Rashard. She keeps going to that right hand side towards Keir.
Good switch here from Belconnen.
Keir sends one over the top, looking for Murphy again, who's got goal side of Vecchi. She looks to slide in Whittle, looking to return the favour, but Vecchi was there. And she completes the clearance up the line towards Dawson. Now Field. Nice change of direction in midfield for Field. Ryan is straight offside, but Rashard picked up the pieces anyway. Pike forward. Murphy, the goal scorer, back to Pike. Murphy again. Belconnen weaving some patterns now. Vecchi wins the ball, but everything seems to be loose that's picked up. It's picked up by a light blue shirt at the moment. Clark
again. Yeah, they're moving the ball well.
Yeah, they're picking up the pieces all the time, aren't they, El?
Yeah, Olympic are looking a little bit fatigued at the moment. Hands on hips.
Well, they've worked hard to get back into it, so to concede off of what's a fairly rudimentary long ball, which was helped on its way, will be disappointing for them. Yeah,
it would have been quite frustrating. They were definitely dominating in the previous 5 minutes before we scored that goal.
Well, Karen Clark's about to depart the scene, I think. Bit of a reshuffle here. This is Leah Carnegie coming on. So what's happening here, El?
So it looks like Lauren's dropped back into number 3 position with possibly Maddie Whittle sitting in at right back and Leah Carnegie pushing forward.
And what will Leah add to the front line?
Her pace, she's known for whipping it in quite well, and also her shots on top of the 18-yard box often hit the net unexpectedly. So she'll provide some good attacking phases for the Belconnen United squad.
So it's a good change perhaps for Antti Jagaric at this stage of the game?
Yeah, it's an interesting change. Obviously taking Karen out of the back line, there's always a risk, but Lauren, that is her preferred position, comfortably sitting in at centre back. So I think it's definitely a good option.
Well, midway through the half, live on Bar TV Sports, Capital Football, NPL Football from O'Connor & Close. Entertaining match at the top of the Women's National Premier League table. Canberra Olympic 1, Belconnen United 2. Gemma Murphy's goal in the 64th minute, reinstating Belconnen's lead. Going back to that finish just a moment ago, when she got in, there was still plenty to do, wasn't there? Haradimos came out quickly to narrow the angle, and she took it very well. Yeah, she did. She had the pressure of the defender and the keeper coming out all at once, and I think she got her head up and saw the goal, and that created the finish for her. Here's Pike. Should have mentioned it earlier, but Mickey Day's goal, she's now scored in all four games this season, which is pretty impressive for a midfielder. Definitely. She just got flattened in front of us by Field. A massive challenge from Grace Field. Play goes on though. Yeah. Fairly hefty challenge, that, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. Left on the ground. She's a tough cookie though. She gets up after some challenges that you wouldn't think most would. Yeah, for a player who's nominally one of the holding midfielders, to score in every game this season so far is incredible. Yeah, she puts herself in great positions when going forward, and is quite hungry for goals. Well, she's got 4 of them, and I'm sure she's not going to stop there this season.
No, I think it's just the start of what we'll see from Mickey Day.
Great ball forward by Keir, looking for the run of Murphy, who scored the second goal, angling in on goal, and defensively Bassa Silk does well to challenge. But you can see the tide's turned a little here, isn't it? And Belconnen seem to be putting their foot on the throttle.
Yeah, they're definitely pressing much more than they were before. That was a great touch from Bassa Silk.
Another set-piece chance for Belconnen. Still committing to quite a few players in that penalty area. No one in and around the 6-yard box at the moment. They're all going to make late runs on this one, as it swung into that area and Rojan won it at the near post. And Fauna just sends it forward, looking for Ryan, but Keir hoiks it back into the danger area. Bassa Silk with a header. It's going to drop for Maguire on the edge of the box. Left-footed, tried to curl one towards goal. Vecchi got a foot in, and now Field can bring it away. Keir reads it ahead of Ryan, gives it to Rashart, bounces off of Ryan though, and Dawson has it. Field, now Ma looks to clip the ball wide. Lovely looking ball again to Fauna. She'll take on Whittle, and the flag has gone up. You think, El, that Olympic need to get Grace Marr on the ball a little bit more if they're going to get back into this?
Yeah, she's definitely gone quiet in the last 5 minutes. Seeing the ball at her feet has definitely created a lot of options, and that goes with Grace Field as well, coming through the midfield, looking really dangerous.
Keir. Pressure on Rashart, and Ryan's won the ball back, and then in turn Rashart takes it off her toes. Olympic won't be giving this one up anytime soon. Still got a chance for them to get back into this one. That's headed in the air by Whittle. Fauna, chance to swing this one into the area. Ma helps it on its way. Will it come for Dawson? But she was always stretching and couldn't turn it goalwards. And Maddie Whittle, Elle, she's playing normally at right back now, and we've seen her what she's like going forward. How'd she go on the defensive side of the game?
Yeah, she knows her job when it's a defensive structure. Quite often our 2 and our 5 interchange with our 7 and 11, and through doing that they create the opportunities to overlap, and they understand both positions. So
well, his field in the area, real chance for 2-2, and couldn't get hold of it. Lovely exchange of passes with Ma. Sorry to cut you off there.
No, great challenge there from Grace. Unlucky. It was
a new central defensive pairing that was torn apart there for a moment, rather than the fullback.
Yes, I think there was definitely a lack of communication between Jessie and Lauren there, opening that gap up for Grace to come into.
But that was promising for Olympic, and here they go again with Fauna. She's got him behind the back and swings that into the area. Comes for Dawson again, and this time she thought about the volley again. I think she was caught in two minds whether to take the shot on or bring it down. But they're looking dangerous with Fauna getting in behind Whittle and Dawson coming in on this flank. I mean, Dawson on the right wing here, Al. She's not going to offer you much in terms of an aerial threat, is she? But her pace getting in behind is always something to keep a wary eye on.
Yeah, I think she'll have a hard challenge in the air up against Bronte. But getting inside Bronte, she's done really well to create some opportunities and cause Bronte some issues.
Keir forward, Bassa Silk, the bounce half did her there. But she
get away with a handball there.
Yeah, bounced up and struck her on the arm, didn't it? Right in front of us. Lovely turn that in the middle of the field by Redman. Looking for an option forward and took her time, and there was nothing there, and Bassa Silk now looks to release Dawson. Keir's come across.
Quite slow to get her head up there in the midfield from Amy Redman.
Yeah, just come into the game, so that looked out to me, and it is. Yeah, just come into the game, hasn't she? So it always takes a couple of minutes to sort your feet out.
Yeah, it's hard. She played really well for reserves in the previous game, so I think she's probably cooled down and then had to warm up again. It's always takes time to warm up.
Bassa Silk to Ma, rides a challenge of Day, thought about the shot, cuts inside, might shoot now, does, but didn't get hold of it, and it faded away from goal. But every time she gets it into position some 25, 30 yards out, you're thinking, have a pop, aren't you?
Yeah, she looks dangerous on top of the 18-yard box. She gets her head up, she'll have a go.
If you've just tuned in, you've missed an entertaining game. It's 2-1 here over at Riverside in the Men's National Premier League. It's Monero Panthers 0, Canberra FC 3. Canberra FC had a disappointing season in the Men's Premier League last year. 3 goals to the good in their first game of the season. Here's Dawson looking to get Olympic back on level terms. Five goals in their last 2 matches for Olympic, only the one today. Against a very, very strong opposition. Kia looks to send that one forward. Here's Murphy. Vecchi wins it. Phil picks it up. Has she got a runner ahead of her? Looking for Ryan, but that's hooked clear by Rashart. Helped on its way. Full-time score from the Women's National Premier League over at Deakin. We're hearing it's finished Canberra FC 5, Woden Western 0. So Canberra FC, Woden Western doing well to stem the goal flow. Good result for Canberra FC though, Well.
Yeah, definitely. That's a great scorecard for them. Looking to challenge again this year.
Well, puts them on 9 points, 3 from 3, 7 plus 7 goal difference. So
was an interesting foul here. Another dangerous spot for Belconnen to attack here. Mickey Day lines up.
Well, we saw what she did in the first half from an angle which was a little bit, excuse me, further in. Is she cheeky enough to have another go from here, do you think?
Yeah, I think she will. I think she'll look to get a head on it this time.
Well, she's lining it up, right-footed. Haradimas will be wary. She has gone for goal as well, and it is dipping.
Oh.
And it was almost, and that's not going to count. Came off of the top of the multi-purpose bar, but Haradimas was in trouble again there as that dipped, wasn't it?
Yeah, great strike from Mickey Day. Unfortunate there. Looking dangerous.
Was that Katie Woodman that followed it up? Being a bit cheeky, just put it in the net. And
always ready for scraps.
Well, you never know, because the referee may not have seen that.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
No VAR here, obviously. Here's Keir. Bassa Silk putting her under pressure. Switching play. 15 minutes to go in this one. We're talking about the tempo in the first half being a little bit slower, but this has been much better in the second half.
Yeah, it's definitely picked up in the second half.
It's Ryan playing a bit deeper. They've changed it around a little bit. Trying to push Grace Marr further forward, I think. The whistle's gone. Was that for offside, perhaps? Coming back from an offside position?
Yeah, I think Leah Carnegie came in from an offside position there.
Swung forward and Day wins the header. Here's some space for Bassa Silk. Maguire putting a shift in, trying to get back and make the challenge, and does really well to rob Bassa Silk, and off she goes. Looking for some support. Redmond was screaming for it, didn't quite find her. Marr picks up the scraps. Looking for Dawson. Gets the ball to feet. Off she goes, past Bike. Still going Dawson. Still going onto her right foot. Goes for the chip and hasn't quite got enough on that one, but looking threatening, Lily Dawson, in the last 5 minutes or so. Lacey sends it out to Keir to get us back underway, and that's a good ball down the line to Pike. Brings it down and Bassa Silk reads it and wins the tackle. No thought of a change from Senatori yet for Olympic. The throw in towards Maguire. Day. Whittle. Belco in no rush to add a third. Here's Maguire. Pressure was on from Murphy. And Keating will bring this defensively out for Olympic. Jameson, Carnegie puts her under pressure. She'll have to go back and chase this one as well as Jameson brings it forward, and Leah Carnegie does just that. This is a break for Whittle from that right back position. Defensively, she's off into the penalty area. Chance to put it across goal. Is this 3? Murphy got there, but she was always behind her. Tried to dig it out. Good run from Whittle, though.
Yeah, great driving run from Whittle.
I think Murphy will be a little bit disappointed she didn't get enough on that to dink it over the goalkeeper. Just shows what Maddie Whittle can do with giving a bit of space so well, attacking goal.
Yeah, facing forward, she's very dangerous.
Keating's going to take this goal kick. Harrody must have struggled with her set pieces today off the ground. Not quite feeling it, so Keating takes it. Looks for Dawson. Ricochets off a couple of Blue Devil shirts and falls nicely for Rojan. Gets it back from field. Well, Murphy's tracked back. Her goal separates the sides at the moment. 2-1 Belconnen. Here's Ma. And Whittle had to contort her body to get that back. Lacey finds Keir. Pike. Cross comes Dawson. Pike beats her to it and then steps away from the challenge of the winger, who does very well to win it back and looks for the ball forward from Bassa Silk. Across comes Keir to concede a throw.
Just doing a little bit too much there. I think Bronte a few too many touches going forward. Needing to release the ball a little bit earlier.
Fauna.
Oh, very unlucky to receive a handball call there. Referee had a whistle in her mouth.
Yeah, I think she may have played an advantage because the ball went straight to Gemma Murphy.
Yeah.
Here's Carnegie looking to slide it through, and here's a run on goal here for Murphy perhaps. She's got away. Can Murphy get a shot away? They're back in numbers now, Olympic. It's right for Carnegie, who drives one across the face of goal, and unfortunately for Belka, the ball was behind Murphy. When if she could have got it in front of her, she was away. Yeah,
it was interesting. Her and Jazzy fighting over the ball going forward there. Gemma took it on.
10 minutes to go. Maybe she could have prodded that one into the path of Maguire, and she was in full stride. As it is, Olympic survive. As I say, 10 minutes to go live on Bar TV Sports. Canberra Olympic 1, Belconnen United 2 in this Women's National Premier League game. Here's Whittle. Keating for Olympic. Jameson. And good pressure from Belconnen. Forces the error and a throw-in on the far side. Appreciated by the Belconnen Blue Devils bench. Anthony Jagarinik certainly appreciated that. Carnegie helps out forward. Tries to get it back, but it's broken for Ma. She clips it forward first time. Fauna will be the willing runner, but Rashart is comfortably behind it. Day. Carnegie. She's looking for Redmond. But Keating has seen that out. No changes for Olympic yet. Elle, are you surprised by that?
Yeah, I am. Some of the players looking quite tired. It's interesting. The subs look quite active on the sideline. Possible changes late. As a coach, you'd always love your starting 11 to last the 90 minutes. But with injuries and fatigue, that's not always a realistic option. So it's interesting that he's chosen to keep the starting 11 on.
Well, he's got Nikki Bailey, who's a forward, on the bench, and a couple of midfielders in Erin Yoshida and Olivia Catherall. Jodie Kirkness, the defender, you'd think that she'd be the most unlikely at this stage, but maybe a forward change. Yeah,
definitely. Fauna's looking a little bit fatigued at the front there, having to work quite hard.
Here's a run round the back for Maguire. She's got in ahead of Bassa Silk. It's still Maguire. Can she finish this off? She's round the goalkeeper. It's a really acute angle. She's done all she could do is roll it across the goal. No one following up. Half a shout for a penalty at one stage from some of the Belconnen players. Field rides the challenge and off she goes.
Jazzy did very well to stay on her feet there.
Bit too honest, you think, sometimes?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, don't encourage people to go down, but if she had, the decision would need to have been made.
I think it would have been an easier decision.
It was definitely contact, I thought, but...
Yeah, I think Jazzy saw the goal and was hoping that there was a player underneath her.
Really difficult angle.
Cutback, yeah.
Difficult angle to finish from. Did well to roll it across goal. If one of her teammates had gambled, they'd have had a tap in. Fields beats Woodman to it, but then loses out to Day. She finds Murphy, who in turn plays the ball wide to Maguire. They're looking for a switch here, but Ma was in the right place. Rojan. She's looking for the run of Ryan on the far side, but Whittle has tracked back, showing she's not just effective at one end, but she's good at the other as well, and that's a nice piece of defensive skill to get away. Carnegie tries to force the ball forward, and Olympic overturn it in midfield with Fauna.
Great step over there from Maddie Whittle to get out of trouble.
Easy thing to do, wasn't it, to create so much space. It looks so simple, but it's a lovely bit of skill to deceive the runner. And that's a good bit of skill as well from Ma, a little nutmeg, but Whittle read the intentions. Now it's 2-on-2 briefly here. Here's Maguire. Bassa Silk stands strong, but Maguire gets it back. Looks to find Murphy, who's got in between two defenders. They did enough to force it back. Here's Maguire, turns a corner, chance for Maguire. Another great block from Beck Keating. That's not the first time we've said that today. Concedes a corner, but super bit of defending again, El.
Yeah, great defending there, last minute. Jazzy looking very dangerous, facing forward and loading up for that shot.
Yeah, her and Maguire last 5 minutes or so have interchanged really well. A little 1-2s around the edge of the penalty area. Yeah, 6 minutes to go. Goal here would certainly probably, I would suggest, kill the game off. That one swung in looking for Rashart, and it's bounced off of Woodman's shin. She couldn't get enough on it. Dawson, hair flailing out behind her, sends it down the wing. Day picks up the loose ball, looks to send it into the danger area. Keaton heads it clear. Rojan just inside of the back four. Pike robs Dawson, finds Murphy. The battle again is with Bassa Silk and Vecchi, and it's Maguire who comes away with it onto the left foot into the penalty area. The runner's in there, and it's flashed across goal once more. Murphy was in there, Carnegie was coming in as well. Now here come Olympic. Ryan poked it ahead of herself but can't keep it in play. Another good ball from Maguire though.
Yeah, Leah Carnegie was on the end of that, unlucky to get a touch. Looking very dangerous.
Just on her heels when the ball was initially played, wasn't she? And just couldn't quite get there. Ryan finds Ma. Rojan. Back to Keating. Jemison gives it away to Woodman, who in turn sends it back to Olympic. Field. On her two Blue Devil shirts on her very quickly. Vecchi. Time running out for Canberra Olympic. There's less than 5 minutes to go. Still no sign of a change. Looks like they may stay with the 11 they've got on the field. Maybe Eddie Senatori thinks this is his best 11 and the ones that can do the job for him. Here's Pike looking to send the ball forward to Maguire. Fields come back and shows her class and experience to take the ball away from the forwards. Both sides have put in a fair shift today, haven't they?
Yeah, there's been a lot of running today.
Especially the midfielders, box to box. Both sets. Belco with a throw. Pike gets it back. Does well. Pulls it back to the edge of the penalty area. Can Woodman get a touch? Carnegie lays it back to Mickey Day, who shoots. It's fumbled, and it must be a tap-in. A third goal. Haradimos couldn't keep it out. She pushed it straight back out, and there was Murphy again, I think that was, who followed up with a simple finish.
Yeah, beautiful finish from Gemma there. Great ball in from Bronte.
It was a lovely piece of play to work it, wasn't it? To get the ball back to Day. She struck the fierce shot in. Haradimos will be upset with herself that she didn't hold it, but Murphy was picking up the pieces and just slots it in the net.
Yeah, gutted for Haradimos. It was a great first save from Mickey Day with that powerful shot. Just unfortunate, and Gemma was there to pick up the scraps.
That's what you want from your centre forwards. We're going to see a couple of changes now for Canberra Olympic. Seems to be some sort of confusion as to who's coming off. Dawson is one of them, and Vanessa Ryan is the other.
Looks like Liv Catherall coming in on the right-hand side.
The Catterall on for Dawson. She'll offer much the same, I guess. And I think that's Nikki Bailey on as well. Come on for Ryan. Maybe a little late for those changes though, with 2 minutes to go, and Belconnen now 3-1 up. And Belconnen reply in kind. Is this Alex Martins coming on for
Jazzy Maguire?
Jazz Maguire, who's ran very hard today. Didn't get the goal that she may have liked, but certainly was involved in all of the others. And how about Gemma Murphy? Couple of goals again today.
Done very well.
As I said, got one last week, scored on the opening day of the season as well. Certainly has an eye for goal.
Yeah, she looks very hungry in front of goal. Exciting young player.
It's just good instinct as well to get on the end of that follow-up. There's not many people that do follow up these things these days, and it's a simple chance. And she tucked it away with aplomb, her second of the afternoon. Belconnen's third. Bailey's there. Beaten to it by Carnegie. Haradimos looks to send that forward. Field to Catherall. Field again. Asks for Fauna to make the run, but that's going to go all the way through to the goalkeeper, Nat Lacey, who eventually picks it up as we enter the final 30 seconds of the game. Pike. Keir. As we enter stoppage time, El, do you think that it's a fair result in the end?
Yeah, I think both teams have played good patches of football. Olympic have been unlucky with some of their attacking play to not score more goals. At Belconnen at the same as well. But I think today Belconnen have dominated more patches than Olympic.
And been far more clinical in the final third when they have their chances.
Yeah, definitely.
Jemmy Murphy taking two of them, adding to the free kick in the first half from Michaela Day. Sam Price is coming on here for
Katie Woodman. And Jordan Buchanan's just come on for Jessie Ratchard as well.
So Ratchard done.
Some final changes to slow the game down.
Yeah, the 5 substitutions for Belconnen today. Jordan Buchanan now Jordan Beaton, of course.
She is.
She got married to Taylor Beaton in the summer, the Belconnen United midfielder.
High school sweethearts.
Is that true?
Yes.
Well, there you go.
Yes.
Taylor Beaton's been around the men's game for a number of years.
Yeah, and so too Jordan, being a long-standing Belconnen United player for the women's program.
Creating Belconnen dynasty there.
Definitely.
Here's Catherall. Beaten by Bronte Pike. Chance on the break, perhaps, as Murphy away here again.
Olympic had their hands up for the offside, but I think she was on.
She turns back on herself. Looking to play the 1-2 with Martins. But Field brings it away. We're well into stoppage time. Martins. Fauna's going to get there, but Lauren Key, who's done exceptionally well all game. Mar tries to slide it through, and Fauna was away on goal. Mar's still there. And now she's gone down. A bit winded, I think. Whittle looks to put the ball through for Martins. Can she get a touch on it? She can. Now here's Murphy. Driven a bit wide by the touch. Back to Martins again. Lovely ball over the top for Murphy. Looks to get it back again, but the flag had gone up for offside.
Unlucky there. Great attacking play there.
Lovely interchange as the sun decides to come out as we go into stoppage time. That's rather typical, isn't it? We get to go home as it gets warmer.
Classic Canberra weather here.
Across comes Pike, and that's the final whistle, says Carlina Mullett. We've enjoyed this one, and at the end of the day, 3 goals from Belconnen. For a while there in the second half, they looked to be on the back foot. Once Grace Meyer had equalised, but in the end they're classed hold, and they take another step towards retaining a title. Yeah,
it was definitely a tough match for Belconnen, and to concede a goal is quite unusual for them, so I think they'll be happy with the result, but plenty of things to work on. Olympic did really well in patches, and a great set piece, obviously score that goal. So I think, it'll be a great challenge to meet them again in the second round of this season, and I think they'll be a really, really high top contender for this year.
Yeah, from your point of view, have you seen enough from them in the first couple of rounds and today to suggest that even though they've got a new team, that Eddie Senatori's side will be pushing for finals and possibly for the championship at the end of the year? Definitely.
I think they're a very, very good contender this year, and I think they'll give quite a few of the teams a run for their money.
Well, thanks very much for your company this afternoon and for your expert comments. I hope you've enjoyed the live football here on Bar TV Sports. Just to confirm, over at Deakin Stadium in the Women's Premier League, Canberra FC have beaten Woden Western FC 5-0. And last we heard, over at the Riverside, as time was running out, Monero Panthers were 3-0 down to Canberra FC in the men's. But here, in the top of the table clash at O'Connor enclosed, it was a tight game in the first half, but Michaela Day's free kick gave Belconnen the lead. It was the Olympics' turn to score from a set piece in the second half. Grace Marr driving then level 3 minutes after the interval, but a brace of goals from Gemma Murphy just after the hour and 3 minutes from the end is what separates the two teams at the end of the day. It's been an entertaining game of women's NPL football here at O'Connor Enclosed, with the final score of Canberra Olympic 1, Belconnen United 3.